Hi everyone. This week's team challenge, as well as in the following weeks, is going to be about defining your USP. And basically your USP is your unique selling proposition. And what this is something that you will develop, and it will become one of the most important things in your business. Without one, it really doesn't give you much direction or a place to go or something for your customers to focus on. And a USP sets you apart from the crowd. We have 17,000 consultants right now, and defining your USP, your unique selling proposition, will really help set yourself apart from the rest. And customers will come more easily, people will rave about you and recommend you to their friends. So I'm gonna try and help guide you through finding your USP, which maybe is something that you have already defined, but maybe you can sharpen a little bit through this process. So your USP is basically your added value, and you consistently remind your customers of what it is that you are doing for them. This could be a single feature, but more often than not, it's a combination of a few things. This attribute doesn't necessarily need to be unique to you, your product, or your services, but you do have to create the perception that it's unique. Lindsay always tells us when you open a box or you get a new shipment, you tell your customers, oh my gosh, you're gonna wanna put a second mortgage on your house because the stuff that I have in this box is absolutely gonna blow your mind. You give them the perception that what you have and what you're gonna offer them is going to be better than the rest, with of course not putting down other people who are selling, but that you have something just amazing to offer them, and that can coexist with your USP. So here's an example. There was a guy in the 1950s, and his name was Rosser Reeves, and he had a product called Gleam toothpaste. It was a toothpaste that was gonna clean people's teeth, and it was gonna help whiten and brighten their smile. Well, through research, he found out that his toothpaste had chlorophyll in it, and which was primarily seen as a breath freshener, but that certainly wasn't highlighted in any of their marketing. So Rosser renamed his toothpaste Gleam toothpaste with miracle ingredient GL70, and he told people that this was the answer to their fresh breath problems, because in the 1950s people were smoking packs of cigarettes a day, and so that this was going to solve their breath problem. And so he marketed this and advertised this toothpaste as, wow, not only does it clean, not only does it whiten, but man, it does a number on your breath. And the product started selling like crazy. The funny part is that all the other toothpaste at the same time, all his competitors' toothpaste also had chlorophyll. They just weren't highlighting it or using that as a marketing tool. So he had found his unique selling proposition. His product was going to freshen people's breath, and it already was, but he had to let the customers know what it was gonna do. They had no idea. So I want you to start thinking about your added value. What sets you apart from the rest? We all have amazing product here, and I mean, we know that this stuff really does sell itself, but the product isn't necessarily enough. We know that we all strive to have excellent customer service and build relationships with our customers, but what is still going to separate you from the other thousands of people with amazing product and great customer service? So that is what I want you to think of. And this isn't necessarily a single aspect, as I mentioned before. this could be a couple different aspects. So here is your challenge number 1. What I want you to do is I want you to spend some time reflecting on your business. And I want you to talk to your customers, talk to friends and family, talk to spouses, and I want you to figure out some things that could be your USP. I want you to also research USPs, and this can be for products that are absolutely not associated with clothing, just like Gleam toothpaste was. But look at what other people have done with similar products and think about what is going to set you apart. And this is what Deanne and Mark talk to us all the time about finding your why. Your why can be part of your USP. It can be your USP. You just need to think of a way that you're going to continually remind customers of why they should be purchasing LuLaRoe from you. What about their experience? What about shopping with you is going to potentially, you know, change their life in however small or large of a way. So that's the first part of the challenge, and I'll post the instructions below this video. But the second part of the challenge is to think about maybe the first consultant that you started shopping with, or maybe the first few consultants that you started shopping with. I want you to think about your favorite consultant and kind of put yourself in the pre-consultant phase before you were selling. What drew you to that person? Think about a consultant that you shopped with more than once. What made you go back to them? What made them different than the other thousands of consultants? How did they separate themselves from the rest? And what was the added value that they placed on the product or the experience that they provided? And so I want you to post about this. You don't need to include their name. That's fine. It can be, totally anonymous. But think about their Facebook. Think about maybe an in-home pop-up that you went to with them, maybe a Periscope that they did, or a Facebook Live. Maybe it was, maybe it was their Instagram. But think about, how did you know that they were the best? How did you know that they were the consultant that you wanted to purchase from? We may go to different consultants, because they have a unicorn that we're looking for, or, we're trying to help a hostess earn rewards. But the one person that maybe you went back to, and if it's kind of like me, when I started selling, I really did not know much about LuLaRoe at all, and so I don't know that I had a favorite consultant. I think I'd only purchased like 2 items before I started. So I would think of a consultant that I really admire, or somebody that inspires me. If I were a customer, who would I shop with and why? So you can do it that way too. So that's gonna be for challenge, the first part of this challenge. And I'll give you a week's time to do that. Again, think about what could be your USP, and then think about your favorite consultant and what really set them apart from the rest. The second part of the challenge, which I'll let you know about now because that'll give you plenty of time to think about it, but you won't need to submit anything, until the second week. But I would like you to define your USP. What makes you unique? Why should people buy from you as opposed to somebody else? So why are you unique, and in what ways? And what is going to make you better than the competition? And again, I want to stress that this is not about putting other consultants down. We are not, maybe competing wasn't the right word, but we're not competing with them. But what is going to make a shopper return to you, or to continue to stay loyal to you? they might shop with other people, but they're always going to come back to you for one thing, or it could be multiple things. But I want you to think about that. And then how do you provide value? This is not the cheapest prices, because we know that we're all selling at MAP, and you know, we don't offer deals and specials, but how can you add value to what it is that you're selling? Do you back up your quality and your products with like a rock solid, you know, return process or unmatched customer service relationship? Is that something that sets you apart from the rest? Are you reliable? Do you have integrity? Okay, so this is something that I want you to think about. If you were going out of business tomorrow, is there anyone apart from your spouse, your children, family, and really close friends that would really care? Would your customers care if you stopped selling LuLaRoe? So think about what you can do to add to the already amazing product that you sell. What is your added value as a consultant that you can use to serve your customers? So that is really your second challenge. I'm gonna write down in the comments what specifically I'd like you to do for the first part, and then what I would like to challenge you to do for the second part. There really are no right or wrong answers or anything like that. This is really just to kind of get you thinking about ways that you can market yourself and create a goal for yourself, or create a vision for who you are and why you're doing this. And if this is something that you're kind of stumped on or having trouble, you know, shoot me a message. I'm happy to answer. I am certainly no expert on this. I have no business degree. This is really just something that I found was helpful when Ronnie and I started selling, is that if we could have a clear vision of who we were and why we were doing this, that was something we could continually share with our customers and seem to be a successful tactic for us. So I wanted to challenge you guys to try and do the same thing. And you may already have this, but putting it down on paper and redefining it for yourself, I think will help make it clearer for you and easier to translate to your customers. So let me know if you have any questions, and good luck with these challenges.